You're watching NewsView. And now, from Champaign-Urbana, Illinois, it's NewsView.
Good evening, I'm Michael Badger. Tonight, North Korea said Thursday that they are going to launch more long-range rockets and conduct its third nuclear test, saying that it would build up its capability of striking the United States after the United Nations expansion of sanctions against North Korea. According to the New York Times. The North's threat was the boldest challenge its new, untested leader, Kim Jong-un, has posed at his country's longtime foe, the United States, and its last remaining major ally, China, and rattled governments in Northeast Asia that are undergoing sensitive transitions of power. In a statement issued through state-run media there, the National Defense Commission, the North's highest governing agency, headed by Mr. Kim, said that, quote, a variety of satellites and long-range rockets, which will be launched by the DPRK, one after another, and a nuclear test of a higher level, which will be carried out by it, will be targeted at the U.S., the sworn enemy of the Korean people, unquote. The statement, which used the acronym for the North's official name, Democratic People's Republic of Korea, did not clarify when it would conduct such a test, which would be the first since Mr. Kim came to power after the death of his father, Kim Jong-il, in December 2011. And according to WCIA-TV Channel 3 in Champaign, Dateline Springfield, police are investigating 6 burglaries and criminal damage to vehicles. All the incidents happened between January 15th and 17th in the overnight hours. 3 cars were burglarized at Chatham Hills apartment complex, 2 on Saratoga Drive, and 1 in the 1500 block of Seven Pines. Items taken include an iPad, HP laptop, Garmin GPS, DeWalt drill, and car stereo. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers. You can remain anonymous and may earn a cash reward. If you know anything about this, call Sangamon and Menard County Crime Stoppers at 217-788-8427 or go to cashfortips.us on the internet, or you can use a cell phone to text TIP 672 plus INFO to CRIMES, that's crimes, or 274637. According to the Wall Street Journal, Britons have been warned to leave Benghazi, according to Cassell Brian Lowe. The British government said Thursday there is an imminent threat to Westerners in the eastern Libyan city of Benghazi and urged British nationals to leave. The UK Foreign Office said in a statement that it was not aware of specific imminent threat to Westerners in Benghazi. Germany and the Netherlands also advised citizens to leave, the Associated Press reported, and the UK, US, and others advised citizens against all travel to Benghazi after the September 2012 assaults on US government posts. The British Foreign Office, on its alert, on Tuesday said it advised any who remained to leave immediately. The statement said only that the threat was to Westerners and didn't provide further detail. And according to Reuters, an assault weapons ban has been announced in Congress, but it will face an uphill battle. Senator Dianne Feinstein and several other Democrats said they were introducing a bill to ban semi-automatic weapons and high-capacity ammunition clips. It faces stiff opposition in Congress, as well as from the National Rifle Association, the main U.S. lobby for gun manufacturers, and from many Americans. Quote, getting this bill signed into law will be an uphill battle, and I recognize that, but it is a battle worth having, unquote, said Feinstein at a news conference to announce the bill. The legislation mirrors some of the proposals that President Barack Obama offered last week as he vowed to make gun control a top priority in his second term. Banning assault weapons is seen as the most unlikely part of Obama's gun control package to pass Congress. But a previous ban expired in 2004 after 10 years. With 310 million guns in civilian hands and 11,000 homicides with firearms last year, the United States is one of the world's most heavily armed and violent countries. Feinstein's bill would ban the purchase of semi-automatic rifles that can accept a detachable magazine clip and prohibit high-capacity ammunition magazines that hold more than 10 rounds. This is according to Thomas Ferrero, edited by Alistair Bell at Reuters. This is not me saying these things. This is me saying these things by reading them, and that's what we do here at NewsView. I read the news to you, and you can also go to NewsView Urbana, at NewsView Urbana on Twitter, and follow whatever news that comes up that I feel is important will most likely wind up at NewsView on Twitter. Remember, that's different from NewsView, so you'll still want to come watch NewsView on TV or at urbanapublictelevision.org Friday nights at 9 Central and 12 a.m., and Mondays at 10:30 p.m. and 1 a.m. Central. Now, according to National Geographic, dung beetles navigate via the Milky Way. They say the tiny insects can orient themselves to the bright stripe of light generated by our galaxy and move in a line relative to it, according to recent experiments in South Africa. Quote, this is a complicated navigational feat. It's quite impressive for an animal that size, said study co-author Eric Ward, a biologist at the University of London, Sweden. Once the beetles sniff out a streaming pile, males painstakingly craft the dung into balls and roll on them as far away from the chaotic mound as possible, often toting a female that they have also picked up. The pair bury the dung, which later becomes food for their babies. But it's not always that easy. Lurking about the dung pile are lots of dung beetles just waiting to snatch a freshly made ball. That's why ball-bearing beetles have to make a fast beeline away from the pile. Quote, if they roll back into the dung pile, it's curtains, Lawrence said. If thieves near the pile steal their ball, the beetle has to start over again, which is a big investment of energy. Scientists already knew the dung beetles can move in straight lines away from dung piles by detecting a symmetrical pattern of polarized light that appears around the sun. We can't see this pattern, but insects can, thanks to their special photoreceptors in their eyes. But less well known was how beetles use visual cues at night, such as the moon and its much weaker polarized light pattern. So Warren and colleagues went to a game farm in South Africa to observe the nocturnal African dung beetle, Sacabebus stairis. Attracting the beetles provided straightforward. The scientists collected buckets of dung, put them out, and waited for the beetles to fly in. But their initial observations were puzzling. S. starius could still roll a ball in a straight line even on moonless nights, which caused us a great deal of grief. We didn't know how to explain this at all, Warren said. Then it occurred to us that maybe they were using the stars. And it turned out they were. To test the star theory, the team set up a small enclosed table on the game reserve, placed beetles in them, and observed how the insects reacted to different sky conditions. The team confirmed that even on clear moonless nights, the beetles could still navigate in their balls in a straight line. To show that the beetles were focusing on the Milky Way, the team moved the table into the Johannesburg Planetarium and found that the beetles could orient equally well under a full starlit sky as when only the Milky Way was present. Lastly, to confirm the Milky Way results, the team put little cardboard hats on the study beetles on their heads, blocking their view of the sky. Those beetles just rolled around and around aimlessly, according to the study. And that was published recently in the journal Current Biology. The dung beetle researcher Sean D. Whipple of the University of Nebraska at Kearney said by email that the quote-unquote awesome results, quote, provide strong evidence for orientation by starlight in dung beetles, unquote. Then he added that this discovery reveals another potential negative impact of light pollution, a global phenomenon that blocks out stars. And he said, if artificial light from cities, houses, roadways, etc. drowns out the visibility of the night sky, it could have the potential to impact effective orientation and navigation of dung beetles in the same way as an overcast sky, Whipple said. Study co-author Warren added that other dung beetles likely navigate via the Milky Way, although the galaxy is most prominent in the night sky in the southern hemisphere. What's more, it's probably a widespread skill that insects have. Migrating moths might also be able to do it. As for the beetles themselves, they were, quote, very easy to work with, he added. You can do anything you want to them, and they just keep on rolling. And according to Channel 3, WCIA-TV in Champaign, 1 in every 39 babies is born with a birth defect. As those kids grow up, it can be challenging for parents and the children to find a place where they feel normal. The Special Olympics organization helps thousands of families in Illinois alone do just that. Jackie Walk with the Special Olympics helps us put the program's mission in perspective. They say the Polar Plunge. For more information about it, visit plungeillinois.com or call Jackie Walk at 217-355-1750. And according to the New York Daily News at nydailynews.com, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie has a valuable new Facebook friend. Mark Zuckerberg, the billionaire Facebook founder, will host a fundraiser for the popular GOP governor next month at his home in Palo Alto, California. The brash governor first connected with the Silicon Valley whiz in 2010 when Zuckerberg donated $100 million to Newark's troubled public school system. Quote, they have maintained a mutual respect and friendship since they met in 2010, Christie's strategist Michael Duhane told the Daily News in email. Governor Chris Christie is gratified to have Mark and Priscilla's support, unquote. Zuckerberg, who married Priscilla Chan in May, are asking donors for $3,800, New Jersey's maximum contribution. The 28-year-old Facebook mogul's interest in New Jersey doesn't stem from a personal tie to the state. A native of Westchester, Zuckerberg attended Harvard before moving to California. His support of Christie's 2013 re-election coincides with a surge in the governor's popularity following his assertive response to Hurricane Sandy. His job approval rating stood as stunning 74% in a poll Wednesday. And you can see more about that at nydailynews.com. We'll be back with weather and more, or maybe just weather, right here on NewsView. Stay tuned to NewsView. Weather forecast. Friday night, partly cloudy, a low of 11 degrees Fahrenheit. Saturday, sunny, high of 25. Saturday night, mostly cloudy, a low of 18. And Sunday, freezing rain with a high of 32 degrees. And Sunday night, freezing rain with a low of 32 degrees. I'm Michael Badger, and this has been your NewsView weather for South Central Illinois.